In this video, I want to walk you guys through a pondless waterfall and how easy it really was. Don't be scared to just go out and try something. The best thing about building your own waterfall is that there is no rules. Let me walk you through just how simple this right here was to create. All I did was create a circle where the water is going to sit, and I only dug it down about 6 inches. Inside that circle, I made a deeper hole big enough for a Tupperware container that I'm going to get to in a second. This is a budget waterfall, and I'm going to tell you guys, you don't need all of those kits that you see online. Once I had the hole, I then laid down the rubber liner that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's pretty simple. You did not need a big one for this waterless pond. I then bought a pump. Now, the confusing thing is, what do the numbers mean? Well, the higher the number on the pump, the more flow that you're gonna get out of the pump. Now, I didn't know what that was, so I got a pretty beefy one, and this is the amount of water that comes out of it. As you can see, it's a decent stream, and it looks incredible. This is beautiful. It's not very loud. All you hear is the water. I don't even hear the pump. If you didn't notice, it's built up on the backside, and that's because the extra dirt that I had digging out that hole was just stacked on here on top of a bunch of random bricks that I found all the way around my yard. I took apart an old fire pit ring and I threw all of that brick right on top of this to try to build it up a little bit, and then I concreted it in. You didn't probably need to do that. You could have just filled it on with topsoil, but I just wanted to go the extra step to make it a little more beefy. I do have kids, and they're gonna be climbing this someday. Now, what about the Tupperware? I got a 15-inch box, and then I put the pump inside that box. I then used a drill bit and just drilled a bunch of holes on the outside of that box and drilled a bigger hole on the top of that box, the same size as the tube that's coming out of the pump. And then I rested that down into the deeper hole, that 15 by about 15 tall hole that I had previously dug out. It does have an extension cord coming off it as well, so just keep that in mind. You will need to drill that hole out and run the extension cord out of the Tupperware container as well. From there, I just took that hose, brought it to the back side of this waterfall. I then bought a spillway from Amazon. You could also get this from Home Depot or Lowe's. I connected it to that other pipe, and I just rest it on the back side here, as you can see, and then I just threw another stone on top of it. I said this is a budget-friendly waterfall because this stone was underneath the deck that I had previously. So this was all just extra stone that I had, and I just kept stacking it up until I thought it looked pretty cool. I then got a ton of bags of topsoil and just kept dumping them on this waterfall, as well as getting a ton of bags of white rock. You can get whatever rock you want. I would suggest steering away from the small pebbles because that could just go into the holes that you drilled inside that Tupperware container, and then covered that ugly Tupperware container with all of these bags of rock until it was level with the ground. Now the pump is completely hidden. Now I did take into account that the water will spill off the sides of these instead of propping up the stone a little bit. So what I ended up doing was taking that rubber liner, putting another one on the back side here. That way I can build up the side, the water runs down the side, and you just put more rocks in there, and it flows right into the pondless area where all the other rocks are. Now, most of these rocks are just sitting here. You could pick them up one by one if you wanted to. I did use this can of spray foam to kind of steer the water in the direction I wanted it to. So if I didn't want the water falling too far back, I would just spray a little foam behind it and then cover it up with another stone or the dirt that I had packed on the back side. That's really all it took. And then I got to the fun part, which was just putting a bunch of really pretty plants all around there that are going to spread and make it full. So my goal is to not see any dirt real soon. I am no expert. This didn't cost me but $300. If you did have to buy the stone, you'll probably have to spend another $300 on stone. So you could build an entire waterfall for $600. I know that's a little pricey still as a budget waterfall, but you could get a smaller pump. The pump doesn't have to be a 3600. It could be, you know, a 2000, and you have a smaller stream, and you maybe don't have to go up as high. Really, it's up to you, because the coolest part is that there is no rules when it comes to building a waterfall. Hopefully this video helps you guys. Please subscribe, because I want to keep making stuff like this.